Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay. This video is low-cost food doesn't mean low-quality food. Adding one canned food. Why? Okay. So last Saturday, a few days ago, I went to the food pantry and I got a lot of tortillas. So, you know, I'm kind of eating Mexican food, which is fine with me. So, one thing that's good to make is enchiladas. I should have brought a pot holder. Do I have a pot holder? Is there a pot holder? I must have washed them. That was very efficient. Okay, so these tortillas are a little bit small, so I just made 6 small enchiladas. They smell good. These are, I got some of this brand of Manola tortillas. This is, I was trying to figure out how much is this. These were normally $5, so anyway, so I've been making, we all probably have been making enchiladas for years. So I had tortillas, enchilada sauce, here it is. And then I was planning on making hamburger, but look what I found. Okay, I've been buying chickens at Ralph's for $5 on Wednesday, and today I popped into Walmart and their chickens were, this is a lemon pepper chicken, $3.04. So it was half price, so we go back to 50% off. And then I had tortillas, enchiladas, chicken, and I had green olives. You know, I just used whatever I had. And cheese. And I had this little block of cheese that I got at the food pantry last month. And I used the last bit of it. And then I had some cheese in my freezer, so I needed a little extra. So let me see if I can find which way I did them. I think this was the way I did them. So this was really cheap. Now the way I do these is I fried the enchiladas in a little oil just to soften them up. And then I heated the enchilada sauce. Ooh, these look good. I heated the enchilada sauce. And then I put the enchilada sauce, each tortilla in the enchilada sauce to make sure my enchiladas had plenty of enchilada sauce. And then, so about a half a can, then I put the chicken in the enchilada sauce. Then I filled the tortillas with chicken that had been soaked in the enchilada sauce, olives, and cheese. Then I poured the rest on top and I put cheese. So I had black beans and rice, but I decided to eat those for lunch for the next 3 days. So I have a little salsa. I find this salsa from Walmart to be good, but I know where there's good Mexican food places because, believe me, I have a lot of tortillas left. And I bought this this guacamole at Walmart because the one I went to didn't have any avocados. So I'll put a generous amount of avocado on the top. So here is my homemade enchiladas. Those look pretty good. Southern California, you know, we make a lot of Mexican food. Okay, so now for dessert, I made something really nice. because last night I made yogurt. Here it is. This time it didn't, I used some shelf-stable milk, and I used a Ralph's, it's good, a Ralph's yogurt. When you make it homemade, and here's the way, so hopefully tomorrow I'll make some bread. So here is what I made. This is the yogurt I made, and when I went to the food pantry, I got this yogurt, and it was a little too expired. It expired on May, it says 6th. So it's the 15th of June, but I figured the strawberry stuff would be good, and I could have used jam, so I just mixed the strawberry in with my homemade yogurt. I'm glad I didn't throw it out. And then I froze it. So let me have a little bite of this. And this one is 1 cup milk, 3/4 cup yogurt, 1 banana, and then I made a smoothie and I froze that. And then this is for tonight, we have this. Okay, so so the chicken is cheap, and I looked it up. As long as, this was a frozen chicken, so as long as I freeze it like tonight, it'll be fine, but you have to refreeze it within 4 days. Okay, so low cost food doesn't mean low quality food. So what I want to do is I want to stockpile food, and I want to keep stockpiling food because of the rising tensions. Possibly they're saying prepare for war. I'm not panicking, but I am preparing. Why not? Again, if nothing happens, just eat the food. So the one food that I added was beans, because beans are really low cost. Yesterday I made a bowl of beans, corn, and I put 3 egg whites on top. So each serving is about 30 cents. So if you have beans, rice, potatoes, and sweet potatoes, and then pasta, conscious, quinoa, and barley, you can get by. So I bought 2 cans of black beans. You can make all kinds of stuff. I bought 2 cans of corn, and I still have 2/3 cans in my my refrigerator, and if I don't eat it all tomorrow, I'll freeze it. I bought 2 cans pork and beans, and what I was going to make was this baked beans and franks. But what I was going to do is I want to make my food a little bit higher in protein. Is I was going to fry 1 hamburger patty, and, well, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and 2 hot dogs, because I bought these turkey hot dogs at Ralph's for $1.25 a package, and you get 8. Okay, so I have a hamburger and 2 hot dogs, and so I want to make these. I have these pork and beans, and there's all kinds of things you can make out of beans. You need 3 tablespoons chopped onions and 3 tablespoons butter or margarine, but I usually use dry onions. 1 can pork and beans, the pound size, but I use this size. 6 wiener sliced penny style, so I'm going to use hamburger. I want meaty beans, and I'm going to make some cornbread. 1/3 cup brown sugar, 1 teaspoon prepared mustard, 1 teaspoon celery salt. I just use celery seed. Saute onion in butter until tender. Combine onion with remaining ingredients in a 2-quart casserole. Bake uncovered at 350 for 40 minutes, stirring occasionally. I've had this recipe for This is an oldie. It's an Old Faithful. If you don't have brown sugar, just use ketchup. All right. So that's a good one. Then I bought 2 cans lentils. So what I want to do is start eating more veggies for the life extension as well as for conserving money, and 2 garbanzo beans. So what I want to do is eat more vegetables, and I'm counting beans as vegetables. I want 1/2 of the meal to be vegetables. It's longer, it's cheaper, and it's better for the life extension. So, and then I want for the carb, chickpeas, lentils, also peanut butter, fish, and chicken. Spinach, olive oils, potatoes, legumes, and beans can be sprouted. So let me give you, so I will be cooking this way. So also it's a very cheap way to stock up for a week, because each of these cans is now about $1. And then I got 1 package of Spam. These aren't as cheap. 1 package of salmon and 2 packages of tuna. Mostly I probably want to make sandwiches. And then I have 2 cans of chicken. And I have this can of ham that I bought, you know, ham spread for sandwiches. So I would have enough sandwich stuff for a week and enough beans for about a week. And then I have rice. Okay, so that's some cheaper ways to eat, and I will be cooking this way. So now, why do this? Well, the reason is because it's time to maybe prepare for war. Don't panic, prepare. Okay, so back to the fruit dessert. That's good. You can have yogurt with fruit, you know, and nuts like I did last night, or yogurt with granola and fruit, homemade, I might make tomorrow. Cheese, cottage cheese. So you have yogurt, cheese, and cottage cheese, blueberries, raspberries, pineapples, peaches. So now on your granola, you can switch out all the honey for 1/3 cup peanut butter and 3/4 cup applesauce. And then so this time when I make the granola, I'm gonna make it with peanut butter and applesauce, because I like to make my own applesauce, because I like to make applesauce bread. So if something happens and you have everything to make these fruit breads or these fruit desserts, you're going to suffer a lot less. Jello with fruit and yogurt, and then frozen smoothies. Okay, I want to talk just briefly about minimalism. What I don't want to do is experience anything remotely similar to poverty. I want to buy what I need in a thrifty way, but I don't want to be going really skimpy, because if hard times come, we may have no other option. And also remembering that the Depression was like a decade long. I think this is a worldwide depression as well. Okay, so now, so preparing for war, not panicking. And here's my mint plant's doing terrible. It's not happy anymore. And my tomato plants back here are doing terrible, and they're not happy anymore. I think I'm gonna plant them back in the backyard, and their fate will be in the hands of the gods. Okay, so I want to think about, for being thrifty, I want to think about more veggies. I want to make sure I have bread, in particular fry bread, biscuits, and yeast bread. And I want to make sure I have plenty of rice. So these foods are gonna, like tortillas are basically like bread. I want to make sure I have plenty of bread or stuff to make bread. And then I want to stock up on canned beans, because if something happens and we would have to cook on a fire or some propane, we can also eat beans out of the can. So, and then I want to buy better salsa, because I put salsa in meatloaf, and the canned salsa is also, I want to talk about the shunning of fresh fruit and vegetables. I can see why people are doing that, but that's kind of like being thrifty to the point of like, you know, there's a lot of, this is one reason to go to more vegetables, is because as far as the life extension goes, it's likely to preserve your life. So you don't want to do anything that's going to make you, that's why I'm going to the gym. You know, it's water, the cleanest water you can afford. And I bought this yogurt because I thought it was better in the yogurt that I made than Ralph's. Air, clean air, and nutritious food. A lot of things actually might be kind of like malnutrition, you know. Like it or not, that might be the actual truth of it. Okay, now in ancient times, bread was 3/4 of the calorie eaten, either wheat or barley. Rye, peas and beans. Okay, and then think about nuts would be acorns. Fruit and vegetables, so they had like carb foods with fruit and vegetables. Milk or water if they had access. And so we want to think about some of this ancient way of doing things like pottage stew, which was vegetables and meat. You know, any vegetables and meat they could get, they threw, and they made a pot of food and they ate that. So it was thick soup. So now, thank heavens, we have crock pots, you know. And also, a lot of times they would shred the meat. I know when I went to the Adventist church, they would always cut the meat and shred it to make it would multiply the food. So you have a big pan of vegetable curry, and you put that on rice. So I think the vegetables and fruit are very important to make sure, like for longevity wise, not overeating them, but to get the most nutritious possible food we can. So now think about preparing for war. So let's just think about it once, and then let's just like say, okay, maybe I can prepare a little, if nothing else, having some idea of water and food to eat and shelter, especially if it's cold. In the Hawaii fire, many people could have survived if they had a gas mask. Also, you need to know where a safe room would be. So one good place to go is in basements. Some of the parking structures have basements. So if they have available shelters, you would go there. Otherwise, you want to make sure you had 15 feet, I think it's 15 inches between you and the walls. So I have a closet upstairs. So now, if it was like a nuclear blast, it's possible that in my case, if you're like over 20 miles away, you would be safe. I'm 30 miles away from where it would probably strike, but if I could, I want to know what I would do. and I would either shelter in place or I would go up and over the Takati Mountains, which is very close to my house, because your mountains provide a barrier. But in my case, I live in a townhouse with 2 people on each side of me, a mountain in back of me, and you know, there's a second story, so quite possibly I'd be safer to shelter in place because I'm 30 miles from where possibly the blast would result. So you want to be thinking about stuff like that. So now if you shelter in place, supplies, cash, light, non-perishable food and water, and you need some kind of way so that if one of the first things that might happen is the power would go out, so you need some kind of radio so you have some communication to know what you're doing. And another thing is, depending on what's happening, the power will go out or the grid will go down before an attack. So that puts everyone in a very vulnerable position. So just knowing what you're going to do, knowing what you need. What you need is food, water, gas, cash, and maybe a weapon. That's been since the beginning of these videos. And then, like, another thing is making use of social services. If you're a senior citizen on Social Security, I think it's a good idea. I think you should do that now and save your money. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all. Bye. See you tomorrow.